Good evening and welcome to the Wild Cardinal Network. This is your host, Tony Madson, and we are in the Rusty Coles Fieldhouse on a Wednesday night preparing for the Alma Bryant Hurricanes to come to town this Friday. The first game in the new stadium at St. Michael. We have the pleasure of being here tonight with Mitchell Swanson and Franklin Kasch and head coach Philip Rivers. Good evening, Coach. How are you?
Hey, Tony. Doing well.
Say, you had a new addition to your family in the off-season. How'd the off-season go for you?
Yeah, off-season's been great. It was good. Little guy, Andrew, was actually born Halloween, October 31st last year, right there at the tail end of football season.
Oh, he saw the Hanley game then.
So looking forward to he doesn't know yet, but he'll have a big time coming to the ball games this year. It's been a great off season. We've gotten a lot done as a program, just continue to get better, and a lot of exciting stuff going around campus. There's trucks and stuff moving and shaking.
We mentioned the new stadium. How is the atmosphere around the football? You see that in the background every night. How does that help with the atmosphere this spring?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I think the whole school is excited. So obviously the team, the players are excited, but I think the whole school is excited. It really is hard to put it into words what a big deal it is. I mean, it's a big deal to be on campus, and not just for the football team. I mean, obviously it'll be multi-use, but I mean, just for the students and the families and the community to have a place to call home, and for us to have a lot of great fun out there on Friday nights, middle school games, JV games. I mean, it's going to be awesome to be able to walk out of school and you can go right out back.
Certainly a beautiful facility. We're really looking forward to the game Friday night and this season. Again, thank you, Coach. And I'm going to hand this over to Franklin Kasch and Mitchell Swanson.
Hi, this is Franklin Kasch. I'm a junior here at St. Michael. So my first question for you, Coach, you had the same staff since last year. So can you introduce your staff and tell us why it's such a luxury to have the same staff year after year?
Yeah, it's been. It seems like every year I'm telling you we got the same group, and I'm thankful that we've been able to keep the same guys. Certainly, you want to find ways to make positive additions, and we've done that. Last year we had Coach David Hendrick joined us, and so we've been able to make additions here and there. But the staples of the staff that have been here now. This is going into my fourth season here with these guys. You got Coach Quarterpassy, who you guys know, obviously is co-athletic director and defensive coordinator, and really does a ton day-to-day operation-wise. When I first got here, I wouldn't have had a chance without him showing me the ropes and handling the dragonfly and all the stuff that goes with that. I wasn't worried about the football part, but I didn't know all the stuff behind the scenes. But obviously he heads up that defense with Coach Lopez, who coaches the defensive backs. Coach Murray with the defensive line, and those guys do a heck of a job defensively. Obviously, Coach Murray brings a lot of great energy and coaches that defensive front, and Coach Lopez on the back end with the secondary, and obviously handles the coordinating the special teams for us, which is big. And then offensively, Coach Dupre does a heck of a job with the offensive line, and he and I really work in cohesion in terms of game planning, and he has a lot of input in the run game each week in terms of putting together that plan. And then of course my brother Steven, Coach Legit, as you guys know him as a wide receiver coach, has been a lot of fun, and he certainly he and I obviously are close and have talked football our whole life. So having another guy to bounce ideas off of, and him leading that wide receiver core has been great. So it's a good staff. It's a small staff, but it's one that we're excited about. And though again that core group of guys now we will be together now going into year 4.
Yeah, that's great.
Coach, with the Jamboree coming up, you really have two choices of how you want to practice in the spring. What are the difference between the two, and how did you come to choose having a Jamboree in the spring instead of having a spring game?
Yeah, so we, there's two ways you can go about it. Obviously, you have a traditional spring, and you can play a spring game. You can be padded up in the spring and get 10 practices and a game, and then you start the first Monday in August, like most teams do. Or you can forego that traditional spring, and you can start a week early. And so we like that, starting that week early. Feel like you get going. Summer sometimes tends to drag a little bit. Late in the summer, you feel like you've done the same thing for a long time. And then also, it allows you to play a game pre-week 0. So you have in high school in Alabama, you have weeks 0 through 10. 0 through 10. So you got 11 weeks to play 10. And so if you forego spring, you can play a Jamboree, as we are against Alma Bryant, in pre-week 0. So we're playing Alma Bryant pre-week 0, and then now we still have 11 weeks to play 10. We have our bye week September 27th, kind of middle of the season, so we get to play 5, rest, and then play 5. And so it just sets up well. I think it's nice to be able to have at least 1 week to take a deep breath during the season. Certainly you could still do spring and play a Jamboree in week 0, but then you got to play 10 straight. So there's lots of different ways to skin the cat. This way seems to work well for us. We got guys that run track. We got guys that play baseball. We got guys that are in soccer. So, you know, that makes it hard, that spring training. So we may go back and forth. You know, we've talked about maybe going back to a regular spring in the future, but we've seen like this has worked out pretty well for us so far.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so next question. What made you sign on Alma Bryant to start your 4th season as coach?
Well, you know, we played Alma Bryant. It was my very first game, our first game together as a staff, and with me being here in the spring when I first got here that spring of 21. And Coach Bart Sessions is there. Coach Quarterpassy at McGill back in the day. And it was his first year at Alma Bryant. And so it just kind of it married up. You know, you knew it was a coach that had been around, that obviously Simon had a relationship with, that we could, you know, make sure we're both getting out of what you want to get out of it. You're not going against a team that's going to try to, you know, score 70 points or try to do something, you know, where you feel like you're jeopardizing yourself physically. So I think much of the same this year. Obviously, they're a 7A high school, a lot bigger school, but what they want to get out of the game is the same as what we want to get out of the game, and usually that works well for a Jamboree.
Yes, sir. And just like the rules about the Jamboree, like what are the rules for a Jamboree, and are there like any special rules that are going to be in place Friday night?
Yeah, so I think it really both coaches kind of come to an agreement on how you want to handle it. Obviously, you can do it however you want. You can play it exactly like a real game, quarters 1 through 4, and go and all out, or you can tweak it here and there. We're going to tweak it a little bit. We won't have live kicking. We will kick, we will punt, we will kick off, but then when we won't rush the punt, we won't try to block the field goal, we won't return the kick. So the special teams will be dead from that standpoint, other than get our 11 out there and go through the operation. And then we're going to play a true, you know, a varsity half and a JV half, you know. So it's, in a sense, 2 separate games. But it'll be good because we want to get a lot of guys some work. You may not get every guy in the game, but you want to get as many guys in there as you can. And really, to get the Jamboree, for me, and I know you talked to Coach Dupre as well, but you know, you want to get out the first game jitters a little bit that you always have. You want to work out some kinks. You know, no pre-snap penalties is a big thing we've talked about. You know, those self-inflicted wounds. Let's not be offsides. Let's not have false starts. Those type of things. And then finish the game healthy. I mean, I think those are the 3 things that I want to get out of it. Yeah, we want to play well. We want to do all those things, but it's not about lighting the scoreboard up and trying to beat Alma Bryant. You know, we're going to go play hard, but we want to focus on us. I don't know how they're going to line up. I don't know what plays they're going to run. We don't know anything about them. And we're going to go out and focus on us, what we can control, try to get a week better, and be prepared to open up with Bayside the following week.
Yeah, that's great. So your final question, how has y'all's preparation been this offseason, and what are your hopes for this coming season?
It's been good. I feel like we've had a fun offseason, haven't we, Mitchell? It's been a fun offseason. I felt like we balanced it enough from lifting, running, and football. And it wasn't always, you know, we didn't just the same drills and just make it miserable because it was hot. It's been a hot summer and a hot training camp, but we had a fun offseason. We had a productive offseason. We had a heck of a time in 7-on-7. You know, we won 29 out of 30 games, which I know nobody's keeping count, and you don't get a trophy. Although we got a few trophies, nobody. I understand it's 7-on-7, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Our guys played well, had a lot of fun doing it. We got to go up to Troy and play. Went over to UWF. Went over to South Alabama. We had a good time in the 7-on-7 stuff. Our big guys got to compete in Daphne. So it was a really good off season. But you know, you do all we've done to play 10 games, 11 games. Hopefully, you get some bonus games into the postseason. So it starts now, and as we say, Nunchepi, you know, now we begin, and looking forward to a heck of a year. I think our team is hungry. You know, we got a small group of seniors, huge group of juniors. You know, but it's still a fairly young team, but a strong, small senior class leading the guys, and I'm excited, and I think our guys are excited. You know, I think the one thing we've really have what that I can say confidently that we've built in 4 years is we believe we're going to win. we believe we're going to win when we go out there on Friday night. That doesn't mean we're going to. We haven't won them all, but we believe that our guys have a great belief in themselves and a good confidence, a humble but confident group, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see the place. Friday night out here out back, it ought to be exciting to be on campus for that first time, and then really look forward to hosting the first regular season game here in a few weeks. So. Everything's rolling. Back to the school. It's all here now.
That's right, sir.
We say it all the time. Time flies, and it is smoking. It is smoking. Time is flying by, and it's football season. Tony.
It is.
That's right.
Mitchell, give me a St. Michael defend us.
St. Michael, defend us.
Thank you.